Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of the Reich, Defender of the Fatherland, and here to deliver unto your eyes and ears another glorious Propagandacast. Today, a 1 vs 1 on Langres. Yes, indeed, Langres. It's going to be one of a game from the recent WMD qualified tournaments. The second one, I believe, part of the semi-finals, where good friend HelpingHans gave the opponent a helping hand to lose. And in fact, he won the tournament. So a bit of fun there. Of course, I don't know how much watching the Propagandacast had a hand in that, but one can always imagine it had a great hand. But who shall be fighting besides HelpingHans? It shall be Abhilohia. Bugger me, how am I supposed to pronounce that? Nonetheless, we'll just call him Abhil. Sounds a lot more pronounceable. Fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 4th Infantry Division. Opposing him, of course, HelpingHans as the 2nd SS Panzer Division das Reich during the Montane counterattack, or Operation Lüttich as it was known as by the Germans. And in fact, let's get right down to it. Panzer Grenadiers on the way. I mean, so far there's not a lot really to bring out for the Panzer Leader right on. Basically, it's either Panzer Grenadiers or not the Kettenkrad. Indeed, he has gone Kettenkrad. He's not gone Schwimmwagen. And we are seeing a barrack start. I just think he was only going for a 1 engineer start. That's also possible, but less often seen as of late. Usually, you tend to go for a lot more engineers than just one. But a 2 engineer start, barracks up. I mean, so far so good. The usual stuff. And we're probably going to use some riflemen right on the way there. Panzer is marching out. It looks like Hans is neglecting or ignoring for now the entire western half of the map. Quite interesting. Not entirely sure with what sort of thing in mind. And there we go, Gewehr 43 is being equipped. Also a fun fact about how the American infantry squad actually worked. Just read about it a bit. Essentially, one rifleman team or squad would essentially be putting it down to 3 teams. Panzer is taking up here. Nice covering position. And that is a 12-man squad we're talking about, not a 6-man, which is essentially half a squad. But essentially, there would be 1 2-man team acting basically as the scouts for the American squad. That'd be a 4-man team with a BAR to act as a support team. And then a 5-man team to essentially be the assault squad, and then be the squad leader to sort of keep things going. Slight little fun fact there, and of course it does provide a few weak links in case something goes wrong, like say the squad leader catches a bullet to his face. A fun little fact there. Figure that might interest some of you American players or American enthusiasts. The Wehrmacht squad, on the other hand, was about 9 to 10 men depending on what year, and it was basically composed, well, of mostly riflemen and then 1 MG42 LMG, which the squad was centered about, and Panzer was hunting down the riflemen. Abhil basically sort of trying to keep the Panzers away, bait them, but at the same time sort of keep them running so they can't do much else. Although you might want to consider pulling those riflemen up now. More moving up here towards this rather isolated Panzer Grenadier squad. Looks like Abhil's riflemen are pulling in towards here. No, they're not. Quite interesting, a bit of weaving about. I'm going for the munitions point, hoping to take that. Of course, that's the only high munitions point on the map. Fighting continues here, trying to deny the American fuel there. Although at the same time there, of course, is fuel there. And a pretty heavy Panzer Grenadier start from Hans. Could it be he's going for an armored car? Or could he be going for something else? And Kettenkrad, oh, taking quite a bit of damage. Oh, engines on fire. Oh, Hans, why must you torment your Kettenkrad so? Will the Kettenkrad make it out of there? Looks like these riflemen are coming into some collision with some Panzer Grenadiers. 5 and taking up position in the barn, though they're not quite able to help as much. Not as many windows. And now these engineers could be in trouble, although the Kettenkrad is still not in a safe position. Engineers retreating, hurrah and huzzah.
We now have incendiary grenades at our disposal.
Anyways, continuing the slight detail there, whereas the rifleman squad had essentially been sort of split up to several teams, the German infantry squad would have been a lot more simpler. Essentially, it was basically just all the grenadiers with the MG, and basically they sort of move forward in one, have the MG do most of the work while the sort of rest of the troops supporting it, picking off targets and protecting it. And that was actually basically it, with some troops being formed up to assault parties if necessary if the MG-42 couldn't do the initial trick. Incendiary grenades quite out there already. Pretty bold, pretty aggressive. Looks like these engineers could be doing a bit badly. Rifleman getting suppressed. Gewehr 43, although one Panzer needs to get away. Down to only one man. Rifleman pushing on, and where did I learn all this all of a sudden? Basically a website I found called the Ersten Zug, with the first platoon. Basically, I believe, I might be wrong though. I mean, what's the translation that is? Quite interesting site, basically for reenactors, but of course it also provides a lot of details how the German squad and such worked. And also pulled in some American sometimes for comparison, so figured, of course, might be some of interest to other people. Rather than running into a bit of problem, Panzer Grenade down. Still, so far, doing pretty alright by Hans. Although Abhilohia is going for a supply yard, which could prove to be a bit of a problem if he goes for an armored car, and does not look like Hans will be ready. In fact, he's only just got a Kampfgruppe company up. Abhilohia screaming, "Die!" as any good American will always do under the right circumstances. And looks like these riflemen barely got out of there. The grip of the 2nd SS being too strong right there. And looks like things are closing down a bit, but the Americans are holding most of the fuel. In fact, looks like Hans, while he has been able to really do some fighting, he's not really able to take as much territory. Have you noticed? I mean, it's really Abhilohia who's holding most of it. Rifleman right here, keeping the Panzers in the side there, although the Panzer is able to do some damage. Not so reliant on many windows as other units are, and so able to much more quickly do some damage to the Rifleman while enjoying the cover of the house. Another push by Abhilohia. And looks like he's waiting to set up a motor pool, I imagine. Infantry half-track on the way for Hans. That's quite bold. Not feeling it necessary to get some anti-tank assets right away. Feeling he has the advantage, perhaps. But 5 rifleman teams and then an infantry half-track. That's... well, I don't really see that very often. I can't recall if I've actually seen it. But certainly quite interesting. And these Panzers might want to consider getting out of there. Low health, very low health. And there we go, flamethrowers pushing in with riflemen moving in from the north. Nice aggressive pushes. And also note, Abhilohia is actually again sort of attacking from numerous points. He's not sort of blobbing up and attacking at one spot. He's trying to be as many points as possible, thus sort of spreading out the German defenders. Going once more for another fuel point. And again, basically, I mean, Hans has very little now. He's been cut off for most of it. On the looks of course, the infantry half-track might be able to push things out for him. Riflemen need to be careful. Infantry half-track with LMG, and of course Panzer support can be very dangerous. And there we go, retreating without too heavy losses. Fighting contingency. Oh my goodness, heavy losses for Hans. All these Panzers, of course, are a hell to reinforce, and it's really bleeding him dry. Which is definitely not to his advantage. And again, he's not really securing much territory either. So there's a few problems right there for Hans in the beginning. He's certainly doing his best, and he's certainly also bleeding the American dry, but the American commander is sort of able to keep up the rate of attrition and basically do much worse to Hans, which, again, is not helping, but he's still able to get the anti-tank half-track, of course, sensing that his opponent will be going for the armored car, which, of course, is not completely unusual. And, of course, at the same time, Abhilohia, of course, has been doing his best to sort of deny fuel to his opponent, so he couldn't get that building. The Panzer Support Command. So, I mean, in that sense, this is pretty much just a sort of game of predicting the sort of most usual move. I mean, Hans has gone for a slightly unusual thing, but at the same time, he's still got the usual expected thing to get. Of course, that's the anti-tank half-tank. Of course, his opponent is, of course, going for the armored car because it can still do a lot of damage. And, of course, if you can avoid that anti-tank half-track, he can really do a lot of harassment damage. He can basically run around and attack from the flanks. Infantry half-track, they're heavily damaged from a mine, which, again, good placement of the mine right there by Abhilohia. Although it's now getting suppressed. Light fighting here. Panzer is getting stopped by riflemen. Light anti-tank half-tank on the way for Hans. Panzers leading the assault through the wheat field, incendiary grenades, and of course to sort of essentially force him out of cover. I mean, that's really what incendiary grenades are great at, not just, damaging, but actually denying cover to your opponent. And that's basically what Hans is doing. You're throwing it right there so his opponent is forced to retreat, but at the same time also out of cover. And there we go again. Cover denied to his opponent. Good use of incendiary grenades. Usually just sort of seeing them being used as a sort of improvised hand grenade, and they can occasionally do alright with that, but the real strength is, basically denying cover to your opponent. And looks like some riflemen got a bit too far out. Flak feeling opening up. And the anti-tank half-track yelling into the radio that it's ready for duty. Jolly good, like the enthusiasm, but please quieten down a bit. An attempt to ground here for the cut-off point, but a quick American counterattack puts an end to those dreams. Further fighting here. Riflemen, despite having seen 2 men absolutely gutted by a anti-aircraft gun, continue nonetheless. And the assault continues through the north. Panzer goes inside the half-track, that's good. Increases the firepower. And of course also protects the Panzer Grenadiers, thus of course avoiding having to wonder about that. Mines going down by the engineers. Armored car immobilized. Engineers are nearby though, but will they be able to do it? Rifleman running out into the open. Why he abandoned the half-track, I don't know. And there we go again. Incendiary grenade denying cover. But in this case, Abhilohia was not rising for that cover, and now the engineers are repairing the anti-tank half-track, but Hans can't get in his anti-tank half-track. The riflemen are too close. And his Panzers are not at the front either. Oh dear. Defensive operations up. This is good, but note, Abhilohia has already secured most of the map. And he's basically laying down the final bit here, the final effort. Armored car now with a 50 caliber gunner, and of course now it's going to have an easier time. There's no tread breaker rounds from the help anti-tank half-track, so of course it can move about unstoppable more or less. And as of course Abhilohia gets absolutely stupid and decides to do something really silly and lose it. I mean, that anti-tank half-track is going to be in a bit on the shorter end of things. Now BARs as well for Abhilohia. He's basically sort of increasing his advantage against all these light vehicles, as BARs can rather tear through. Panzer half-track. Oh, a mine goes off. Rifleman almost wiped out. Almost, but they do get out of there. A BAR is left behind though for the happy Panzer Grenadiers, but still that was quite a blow. And the armored car moves in, absolutely undaunted now, knowing that the anti-tank half-track is a wreck, a ruin, a smouldering piece of German steel. Or tin in this case, it might as well be. Hans a bit pressured without anti-tank assets. Abhilohia knows that he's getting ready to push. Rifleman leading the way. The armored car can basically do whatever it wants despite having very low health, although at the same time he of course has to be ready for the second anti-tank half-track to move in and ruin his day. In fact, it's time to have a look at Abhilohia. My apologies. My sincerest apologies. And there we go, engineers getting ready. 3 kills, riflemen moving in. Some with veterancy, some without. And all with BARs, although he is climbing up a bit there, has to be careful. Light damage, good. Good. Second anti-tank half-track moving up. And note the anti-tank half-track, as we know it in Company of Heroes, is actually a sort of a squad platoon leader vehicle for an, Panzer armored infantry platoon. Oh, hiccups. Panzer moving up. And incendiary grenades again to deny cover. Although they might want to use it themselves, moving forwards. Have to be careful, armored car nearby. Of course, all those BARs can take down Panzers on the move.
A fuel point is being seized.
Armored car moving up on the flank. Rangers could also be called in any moment for Abhilohia, which could also be a problem for Hans, because again bazookas will do. Oh dear, Panzers need to get out of there. Second SS troops, while tough, can't really survive a 37mm gun or a 50 caliber machine gun. And the second SS does Reich, being one of the oldest of the SS divisions, created alongside the Leibstandarte and the Totenkopf. So quite a bit of action. Well, both fronts really, west and east.
Losing a munition sector.
Panzer is moving about. Rifleman getting ready as well. Armored car, veterancy 1, that's going to make it a bit faster. Flamethrowers equipped, jolly good, Abil. Although a medic station would help to sort of keep up the attritional rate really high on Hans. And there we go, armored car mobilized. Hans goes retreating though under heavy fire. Rifleman charging in here, infantry half-track flying away. You have to be careful though. I mean, charging an infantry half-track can actually end up a bit bad. Mortar half-track arriving. Oh dear. Anti-tank half-track in a lot of trouble. BAR's tearing through it. Will it make it out of there alive? Oh no. Another blow to Hans, who's barely got any territory. And there we go. Anti-tank half-track down. Mortar half-track which has arrived now being forced away. More veteran infantry for Abil. Not very good at all. I imagine another anti-tank half-track will be on the way for HelpingHans. Hans goes holding up behind the wrecked anti-tank half-track, finding way more joining in. Quite a fight actually. We can get a better view. Yes, there we go. And of course, both sides taking to cover, although now of course the armored car flanks with its 50 caliber mortar rounds flying against the American. But of course, without anything to stop that armored car, it's not really looking good for Hans. And now in fact Abil is getting Rangers with bazookas, with Thompsons. Oh dear. Hans is really penned up. Another anti-tank half-track ready. Engineers laying down mines, that is good. Let's return to a more regular camera angle. Defensive and offensive veterancy, quite interesting. Armored car moving in. Will the anti-tank half-track be able to do something? Will it be able to finally stop this armored car? Panzer goes out in the open, though, getting hit. Damaged engine on the infantry half-track, and there we go. Armored car once more immobilized. Mortar half-track can keep up the pressure and deny anyone preparing it. And the Kettenkraut finally bites the dust. But again, denied from most of his map, from most of his resources. Hans is under a lot of pressure. Doing his best to finally knock out that pesky armored car, the Greyhound. Rangers moving in from the flank. Will the Panzer Grenadiers focus it down? Armored car finally down. But now the bazookas are rhyming. Panzer is fighting away with BARs, whatever else they can muster. And another anti-tank half-track goes down. That's the third one. I mean, there's some pretty heavy losses on both sides, but my goodness, HelpingHans vehicles really get chewed up. Less fortunate, to put it mildly. And looks like Abil might be going straight for an off-map combat group. Cheeky that. But not completely without understanding, of course, since he can basically then might get some tank destroyers and whatever else he needs to sort of deal with further vehicles from Hans in a slightly more coherent fashion. Rangers and riflemen. Oh dear, there's a BAR left behind. And then of course none of these forces can actually take it. So that of course could mean another BAR falling into the hands of the Panzer Grenadiers. More automatic weaponry. Jolly good. Looks like Hans has gone for tank destroyer, gone for the heads, although this might actually represent more of a Stuk 3. G. Ausführung G, to be more exact, to be more specific. Panzer taking up position in the old barn. Well, one of the old barns. BAR's finding away. Rifleman veterancy 2, though. Will there be any suppressive volleys from the Panzer Grenadiers? No, they're running into the building nearby. Oh dear, this could be a bad move. Hetzer moves up, of course, revealing it. Mortar rounds also flying. There we go. Oh my goodness, just as they get out. And an entire rifleman team goes down. Oh, that was quite fortunate for Hans. That really was a blow to Abil. One rifleman team down, and it was the veterancy 2-1. Of course, that also sort of highlights the caution about sending in your troops behind enemy lines and leaving them in a building with only one door to exit from. I mean, things like that can happen if you're not cautious. And while it is cool to send your troops behind enemy lines, also remember, it also exposes them to more fire if you're not careful.
Rangers here.
But looks like a small assault force, quite a compact one. Rangers, riflemen with BARs. Only one, though. And some flamethrower engineers. If not caught, they can do quite well. But the Hetzer might have spotted them. Or perhaps not. There we go. Gun firing, machine gun joining in as well. Infantry half-tracks still there, actually. Quite interesting. More Panzer guns being run off. Abhilohia still holding most of the map. Much to Hans's chagrin, I imagine. But he is making a slight return. Mines going down, though, right in front of the opponent. Be careful with that. More Panzers being run off. Though the mine finished it, just barely. And you're seeing quite some losses. And now another large assault rifle moving in. Off-map combat groups almost ready. No supply and upgrades, though, from Abhilohia. Though he is a bit low on troops, I suppose. Although medic station would also have been nice, would really helped him in the long run. Sticky bombs ready. Off-map combat groups soon ready. And basically just sort of setting up a defensive position right here with all these buildings. Penning in Hans as he's trying to break out. Hetzer leading the way. Panzer is joining in. And there we go again. Incendiary grenade to deny cover. Hans has really gotten the essence of it. Although Abhilohia has also gotten the essence of submachine guns. Hetzer being quickly pushed back. More Panzers moving up with offensive efficiency to aid the BAR. Jolly good. Actually, 2 BARs. That can do a lot. And rifle moving in, flanking. Hetzer, damaged engine, getting covered in sticky bombs, bazookas. And he might be getting off another one. Rangers moving in. Oh dear, infantry half-track getting hit. Another sticky bomb on the Hetzer. And a tank destroyer. Off-map combat group arrives. Tank destroyer. And 2 rifleman teams and a ranger. Oh my goodness, this is just an absolute assault force. Hetzer in a lot of trouble. Flak feeling firing away ineffectually. Hetzer out of control. Half-track trying to get out. Another push by the Americans. Panzer Grenadiers out in the open. Not the best of positions, but they're doing what they can. This is looking absolutely horrific for Hans. Rangers retreating right through the Panzer Grenadiers, but looks like they will be making it. Another push. Another Hetzer. Yes. Hans getting another Hetzer, and it's time to return to him. And a time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation. Scheiße. To put it mildly. If you were German, this is not looking good. A pretty daunting American force. Tank destroyers, riflemen, rangers. Sticky bombs, all the nasty stuff. Opponent is holding most of the map. And all you have is one single Hetzer to really deal with that tank destroyer. And of course, and sort of try to break out through all of this infantry. That's going to be a challenge. He can do it, but of course he needs to land a good blow without suffering too many losses. And he might also want to consider sort of draining away the attention by sort of beginning harassing over here with some minor unit. On the other hand, Abhilohia is holding the advantage for the moment, but at the same time he could be drained up if he's not careful. And again, I would recommend supplied upgrades or a medic station. If not, there could be a reasonable chance that Hans might break through. And then it might be a bit more difficult for Abhilohia to really deliver a counter blow again to break through. But let's return to this exciting fight. See how this will go. Mortar rounds flying. Hetzer moving up. Oh dear, Panzer Grenadier team actually went down. Hetzer versus the Wolverine. Hetzer seems to be winning. Incendiary rounds. More mines being laid down by the Americans. Hetzer very cautiously advances. Der Name des Reichs. We have fire though. Mortar rounds falling on the Rangers. Fire burning them. Panzers counterattacking in from half-track flanks. Oh my goodness, those Rangers getting absolutely murdered. And then all of a sudden again, small breathing room there gained for Hans. Once more the mortar does something terrible. In this case it was the Rangers mine going off. Tank destroyer now getting out there. Panzer is hitting mine though. Less good, less good. Although mine there. Panzer is holding the line for a second. Rifleman quickly moving in. Rangers with veterancy 1. Could be good. Still, as long as Abhilohia holds the line. No, he's made a complete full retreat. This, of course, is the opening that Hans needed. Gaining a hidden crowd good, but he needs to just take as much territory as possible, as quickly as possible. While Abhilohia licks his wounds and gets ready for the next assault.
We have gained the ability to instruct the troops on tank awareness.
And tank awareness, jolly good, so you can spot any armored vehicles on the minimap. Although I don't think you can see it right away, they need to be within a certain range. And basically, I think he's mortaring the sort of more usual spots for any mines. There we go. Basically all the choke points. 10 mines going down for Hans as well. Sort of protect against that tank destroyer, which is getting repaired, which is good. For Abil, not for Hans. Still, he's actually suffered quite a few losses. He got 2 rifleman teams and a ranger team, but he's down to only 3 rifleman teams and a ranger team, so losses have been severe for Abil at the same time. Hans has not been very kind to him. So a bit of quiet on both sides as they get ready. Slowly secure points. Mine goes off and oh my goodness, these Panzers are basically just 1 inch away from a mine. And none of them is going, "Hey Heinz, do you think those big lumps of metal look suspicious?" "Nine, we have those at home." Quite a few mines right there, and a teller mine, but again, doesn't seem to be hit. And another off-map well, that's perhaps not what he was looking for. 2 mortars, a rifleman team, and an anti-tank gun. The anti-tank gun can be good. Mortars, I'm not quite sure. One thing you can say whether Panzer, I suppose, could be inaccurate historically is, of course, they have absolutely no LMGs, which they should have. In fact, they might have had more than a Grenadier team or Volksgrenadier team, but details. Advancing right there, although has to be careful. Mortar firing, rifleman covering it. Panzer is quickly getting stopped right there. An attempt here, also stopped by Rangers. And another mortar which can actually make an advance by the German infantry quite difficult. Although it won't do much against the vehicles, or at least the Hetzer, which has gone into ambush mode. Abil gets a bit aggressive, but quickly decides he has got better things to do than getting shot at by Germans. And incendiary round does quite a bit of cooking at the Americans. And Hans, don't run your troops into fire, you've started your own. That's work. So that was a less auspicious assault, to put it mildly. Looks like a Bergtiger's on the way for Hans, basically homing, or Berge-Tiger, whatever, to recover. And of course there were not actually no real Berge-Tigers. There was the Berg Hetzer, there was the Berg Panzer, Berg Panther, but no Berg Tiger. Berge. Way, Bobby moving in. There you go, Berge Tiger. Panzer is caught on a bit of crossfire, rifleman getting ready to launch his ambush from the west. And looks like Abil is not pushing forwards. American forces seeing some losses there, quite simply outgunned. Quite a bit of automatic fire from the Panzer Grenadiers. Oh, mine goes off finally. Heavy damage, heavy losses. Rifleman in the building nearby. Though again, has to be careful again, only one way to get out. And looks like, oh dear, artillery coming in. Blockade fire, but oh, his rifleman had to retreat right through it. In this case, it looks like they got lucky, but damn, that was close. And looks like a bit of he's been using the anti-tank gun to clear away the bocage, allowing his anti-tank gun to fire more easily into the enemy lines. Mines being laid down, but right in front of the mortar half-track. Of course, Hans might be reacting to this, and immediately said about mortaring it. Oh dear, Abil has forgotten about it. He's not moving his troops away from the mine. And there we go, mortar round setting off the mine. Heavy losses. Again, be careful with those things. American mortars can't quite do any counter damage to this mortar half-track. And a bit of quiet again, though. HelpingHans has restored the situation, restored the honor of the 2nd SS. Well, that's a bit hard to say honor there. I'll retake that comment. Not to offend anyone, just in case. Charging ahead, though. Artillery going in once more at the assembled forces, but of course Hans just continues. Although has to be careful, there's no anti-tank fire for those. Again. Oh wait, he's... 3 headsets, including one he's recovered. That could actually be a bit of a problem. Quite an assault gun force if you'd like to use them for that. Although, oh, careful, careful. Sticky bombs, sticky bombs. Looks like he saves the headset. And of course, now to the 2nd one, plus the infantry half-track, which has actually survived so far. 13 kills. Abhilohia suffering a bit of a beating.
Achtung, Hetzer tank destroyers have arrived.
And pulling away his anti-tank gun to deal with one Kettenkran. I think that might have been a bit of a mismanaged move. That might just be me. 4th Infantry Division not really doing too well in the face of the 2nd SS. Having done well, but for some reason things slacked off a bit. Again, not prepared for the longer fight. Not supply upgrades in good time, and no medic stations. Looks like another force.
They have destroyed an enemy unit.
Rifleman teams, mortars, and machine guns. Quite the force, in fact. Although nothing that can directly, I suppose, help. Heads are getting hunted down. Defensive veterans. Oh dear, mortar knocked out by counter mortar. Looks like the major assault will be happening in the south, though. Heads are leading the way now, pulling away. Handgunners moving in. Anti-tank half-track going in as well. Will there be any support from here? Heavy machine gun opening up on the Kettenkran in the center. Anti-tank half-track goes down to anti-tank. No, the Rangers. Damn those Rangers. It's always the Rangers. Kettenkran goes down. No incendiary grenade, though. On the anti-tank gun. That would have been a great move from these Panzer Grenadiers. Assault continues in the center, under fire from the Hetzers. And looks like this Hetzer has been forgotten against the anti-tank gun. Oh dear, Hans, get it out of there. Anti-tank gun gets sorted out. Panzer Grenadiers continue here, unstopped with the dual BARs. Riflemen moving right at all of this. With lots of Panzer Grenadiers with automatic or semi-automatics. Rifleman team down. Oh, Abhilohia suffering excruciating losses. Rifleman teams going down everywhere. I think that might have been 2 to 3 teams dead. That's a pretty high rate of loss. Air machine gun fires into the middle madly. But will it be enough? Rifleman caught in everything. Hetzer is down. Anti-tank are not pulling away. Just wrecking the wreck. So the Bergetiger cannot recover it, which is good. Bloody melee. Mortars getting sorted out. Heavy machine gun could get sorted out. Sticky bomb on the Hetzer. And remember, units are more accurate when standing still, so if you have troops trying to retreat through you, stop your own troops from moving and they'll be doing a lot more. Pretty sure of that. Looks like little Mr. Hetzer is in trouble. Anti-tank on fire. Oh my goodness, already down to half health. Rangers moving in. Veterans at 2. That's going to make them quite threatening. And logistic company going up for Hans. It's actually time to have a look at our bill again. My apologies. With off-map combat group with artillery. With Rangers under fire. Lacking a bit now. Again, that last assault really took out the wind of our Bill's impetus. Well, advance, I suppose. 37 victory points left for Hans. Quite close though for Bill winning, and in fact he's sneaking in one very lonely, very scared rifleman with a BAR. And that team had actually had no kills, so this is not really looking good at all. They're still trying to secure a point. Uncle Sam still trying to keep up the drain on the Panzer Elite, the 2nd SS. And looks like another unit bit the dust. In this case, the anti-tank gun went down. And Rifleman might be securing it, although the mortar half-tank is turning around. There we go, quick retreat, probably queued up using shift, and then of course you don't use the retreat hotkey, you actually have to press the button while holding the shift key down, then the retreat will actually be queued up. Little bit there. Mortar half-track firing away. No additional off-map combat groups. Panzer grenades hanging about in the American base. And these Panzer grenades come under pretty heavy fire. Rangers moving in. Veterans 2 again. Thompson submachine guns. Bazookas. Few points left behind. And increased squads, as of course increasing the number of men, increasing the amount of fire they can take, and of course also deal. Overall, of course, it also means you have to spend more to sort of replenish of one which is down to one man, but that's sort of the
Losing ground out there.
sort of switches there. And it looks like he's using the increased squad size to actually secure himself some heavy weapons. See American heavy machine gun Rangers moving in. And there we go, another off-map combat group. More riflemen, more Rangers, more heavy machine gun, more M10 Wolverine. Heads are ready. And heavy machine gun sitting out quite out in the open, perhaps not the best position. Tank destroyer leading the way. Oh dear, I feel that might have been the less great idea. Rangers ready though. But quickly getting stopped by that 30 caliber. And an attempt at moving up here through the east quickly gets stopped by Veteran C3. Panzer grenades with dual BARs. An offensive Veteran C3, that's nasty. Very nasty. Mortar rounds flying in. Panzer are still suffering heavy losses. And there we go, taking up position in the building. Anti-tank gun gets sorted out. Again, dual BAR with offensive Veteran C3, very nasty. There we go, anti-tank gun down. Get curtained. And now these three riflemen on their own are to face and being in fact forced away. Getting gunned down on the retreat. And there we go, in fact, utterly annihilated. Very dangerous Panzer Grenadiers. Truly elite. Truly Panzer elite. And looks like the heavy machine gun will be flanked. Oh dear.
Losing a victory point. We are losing a victory point.
Rangers pushing on. Oh dear, tank destroyer down. Tank destroyer down. Rangers though are still there. Mortar rounds flying. Riflemen dying. Panzer grenadiers also flying or fleeing. And looks like things are reversed quite a bit, although in this case it doesn't look like a build can actually get back. Although he's once more going for the victory point. Again, he's basically hoping to drain the victory points away for Hans. But he's quickly getting stopped by the Panzer Grenadiers. Oh dear, a mortar round. Incendio one. Rifleman dead. Oh, they're so dead. American mortar with veterans of 1. That's quite nice. Looks like the Panthers might be securing another mortar to support themselves with. Although they might want to consider pointing it in the right direction, you know where the Americans are. There we go, boys. There we go. Mortar rounds beginning to land on the German support position. And looks like a Jagdpanther has been called in from the 653rd Schwere Panzerjägerabteilung. Jagdpanzerabteilung. Jägerpanzerjäger.
Enemy unit.
And heavy machine gun and mortar team down. Oh dear, veterans in 2 for this mortar.
They've destroyed our barracks.
Also, fun fact about the Jagdpanther. It actually mostly served on the Western Front. It was only in the very last few months of the war that any arrived on the Eastern Front. Very little fun fact there. Riflemen quickly pushed back. Assault guns and Yak Panther advancing. Although the Yak Panther technically also got considered a heavy assault gun. This pretty much looks like the end for Abil. Except another off-map combat group tank destroyer. Anti-tank gun could be flanking and charging right into the midst. Rangers moving in from the front, riflemen as well. Oh dear, tank destroyers flanking. Flanking, bazookas. Heads is caught in the middle of everything. Will there be sticky bombs galore? Yes indeed, dual sticky bombs. Riflemen though getting stopped, suppressed. Destroyed engine on the tank destroyer. Yak Panther turns about. Heads is getting pelted. One headsman is in fact down. Tank destroyer down, riflemen taking heavy losses. 2 rifleman teams already down. Rangers doing what they can. GG will play from Abil. Throwing in the towel into the ring. Pulling out with the 4th Infantry Division. A loss for the Americans in the face of the 2nd SS Panzer Division. And of course, what can we learn from this? I mean, I think the problem essentially was from Abil was basically, again, he had some really good punches. And then sort of things began falling apart. He got a bit lazy. I think he also said that himself. But again, he wasn't prepared for the long fight. He wasn't prepared at all. Again, supply upgrades were much too late. And there was no medic stations really helping him, keep up the pressure. Which really didn't help him a lot. I mean, there was good mining, and then there sort of wasn't. There was no sandbags, no barbed wire, no tank traps, preparing for an assault by the Panzer Elite. That could have helped, but sadly did not materialize. On the other hand, what did Hans do right? The Bergtiger really helped him out, really got a lot of vehicles back in the fight. Good use of offensive veterancy for his units. Mortar half-track, great choice, but he was also able to keep that infantry half-track alive for quite a bit of a while, which also helped him quite a bit. But there you go, do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is Imperial Dane saying, cheers.